The midterm map has tightened quickly for Donald Trump. With Virginia's redistricting sharpening margins, control of the House could hinge on a few seats. In that environment, the Iran war becomes less a foreign policy problem and more a political instrument, one that must deliver a clear, recent win to matter in tight districts. Trump's coalition spans three pressures at once: core right-wing voters, pro-Israel constituencies and donors, and swing voters sensitive to prices. The administration's framing of the conflict in civilizational and religious terms energizes the base and aligns with pro-Israel sentiment. But it also raises the bar. Any outcome must look like strength, not concession. Meanwhile, prolonged conflict risks higher fuel costs and inflation, issues that cut directly against Republicans in marginal seats. This is where Trump's behavioral layer matters. He favors performative politics, high visibility moments, sharp rhetoric, and decisive-looking acts that dominate the news cycle. For him, policy outcomes are inseparable from how they look on television and in rallies. That bias pushes towards options that create spectacle and clear storylines. A dramatic escalation, a headline-grabbing announcement, or a stage-managed deal framed as forced compliance. Three pathways follow. An early deal now stabilizes markets but is politically inefficient. It gives Democrats months to relabel it as weak and drain its value before November. Then is a sequence strategy. Pressure now, resolution before September, fits both electoral logic and Trump's style. Sustained pressure through summer keeps the strength narrative alive. A late summer outcome compresses criticism and lands as a fresh achievement. Crucially, it can be presented as the product of coercion, aligning with his preference for visible wins. The third path, prolongation past the election, appears attractive for signaling steadfastness to pro-Israel audiences and avoiding compromise optics. But it collides with voter economics. If the war sustains price pressure, it undercuts Republicans in the very seats that decide control. Performative politics can mask complexity for a time, but it cannot neutralize sustained economic pain. Timing and theatrics can also substitute for a perfect deal. If a favorable agreement cannot be locked by late August, Trump has an alternative consistent with his instincts: a decisive, highly visible action framed as restoring deterrence, followed by an offer of talks on his terms. This preserves the image of dominance, satisfies core supporters, and keeps narrative control while leaving room for a post-election settlement. Across all options, early deal, delayed deal, escalation, the constant logic is timing. That is when, and presentation, how that would look like. Trump doesn't need an endless war to retain credibility. He needs to avoid the appearance of yielding and to stage the outcome as a win. In a midterm defined by razor-thin margins, the optimal play is controlled escalation, careful management of economic spillovers, and a choreographed climax. Either a coercively framed deal before September or a dramatic show of force that carries into the campaign. Power, in this model, comes from ending the conflict at the moment and in the manner that converts most cleanly into votes.